Good morning. My name's Harley, and welcome to this week's edition of Delta Media Group's Tech Tuesday. I'm going to change gears on you a little bit this week. I'm going to go over one thing, and I'm going to try to keep it, it's going to be relatively short, but it's a technical thing. So, you can always call in and ask us questions if you have anything, or you could leave a comment if you run into any questions. And the nice thing about a video is if I go over something too quick and you need to back up, you can back it up. So, all right, what I'm going to go over today is adding a custom domain to your web page. We don't actually do the registration of the domains, so what you'll have to do is go through a third party to register the domain, and I'm going to use GoDaddy as my example. But you go there, you register your domain, and then once you go through that whole process and get your domain registered, you add it in through the DeltaNet, and then go on from there to get it attached to your web page. So what we'll do is we go into the DeltaNet, and I'm right here on the home welcome page to start off with, and you'll want to go to website and down to domains. So from here you can see domains that are already attached to your site, or if you have any custom domains attached to your site, you'll be able to see those listed here as well, and you'll be able to select which one you want to be your primary domain. So the primary domain is the one that's going to stay up in your address bar when people visit your site, and it's the one that search engines are going to kind of attribute your content to. Everything redirects to that one domain. So what I'll do is I'll go set up a new domain name. Now, whether or not you have email attached to your domain does make a difference. So what this really controls is an autoresponder. This controls how the system contacts you after you submit your domain. If you say no, you can click next. You'll type in your domain here, and you want just the domain. So no www, no http, any of that stuff. It's just the domain name, just that whatever .com, .net, .org, whatever it is. And then this will automatically be filled in as your public email address, just whatever you have entered in the DeltaNet, but you can customize it here if you want. So for example, if an administrator were doing this, they might come in here, put in the agent's domain name that they want to attach to this agent website, and put in their own email address so that they get the notification when the domain name has been approved. And then you just click on Submit. Now I will go back one. We'll go over it if you do have email. So if you have email through this domain, now what that means is, just as this example says, example@yourdomain.com. So my domain is wolfarth.net. So if I had harley@wolfarth.net, I would need to say that I have that here. So I'll say yes, click on next, and you can choose whether you want us to have us host your email or whether you have it hosted with a third party. So 99% of the time you'll have it hosted with a third party, whoever you originally bought your domain through. So maybe I have email hosted through GoDaddy, for example, the same place that I have my domain registered. So I would say my email is currently set up with a different email provider. Click on next. Now at this point, you don't need to worry about these fields. So what they're doing is they're asking you for the records that we'll have to enter into our servers that'll be responsible for making your email work through that domain. But you're going to submit those in a different way, so don't worry about those. And we'll just type in our domain name up here. The email address is the same field as before, and then just click on Submit. Now, those two different methods of adding a domain, what the first one will do is it'll send you an email that'll say your domain name has been submitted, but the domain goes into our processing system. And then once we actually go in and process your domain, you'll get an email that says your domain name has been processed. Go in or go to your domain registrar and change your Nameservers to our Nameservers. And it'll give you what they are. They're actually ns1.deltagroup.com and ns2.deltagroup.com. At which point, you'll go into your domain registrar, you'll change your Nameservers to the ones that we give you in the email, and that'll be all there is to it. It takes a little time for the change to take effect, but once it does, you'll be good to go. Your domain will work. Now for email, the autoresponder is a little different. It'll send you an email that says your domain's been processed, but in order to make sure your email continues working, you'll need to email us your zone records or your MX records so that we can enter them into our servers, at which point we'll send you another notification letting you know they're in, and then you change your Nameservers. So the key here is that if you change your Nameservers before we have the records for your email, your domain will go to your web page, but your email won't work anymore. So if you don't have email through that domain, then it doesn't make any difference. So what we'll do is I have just an example set up here at GoDaddy. And first off, if you don't have any email through this domain, what you'll do is you'll go into your GoDaddy account here, and you'll probably see a page similar to this one. And we can just click on this plus sign next to domains. So these are our domains in here. And I will click on Manage DNS for the domain that I want to modify. And if we scroll down to Nameservers, just click on Change. We're going to change default to custom. We'll enter our nameservers here. So it looked like I spelled them right. I think I spelled them right. So we'll click on Save. It's going to think about it. And an unexpected error has occurred. Well, normally an unexpected error doesn't occur. Hence the reason it's unexpected. But generally what you would do is you would enter your name servers here, you'd click on Save. GoDaddy would tell you that you've saved your name servers, and I'll probably have to log out and back in to get them to work. It just happens sometimes. And as long as you don't get an error like this, it'll say your name servers have been changed. Please allow 15 minutes or so for the change to take effect. GoDaddy is particularly fast as far as that's concerned. They say name server changes can take 24 to 48 hours before they fully propagate. Usually, once you make a change like this at GoDaddy, you're looking at, within the hour at the most, and then you'll see your domain working. So you just type it in and it'll go to your page. So this would be the method if you didn't have to get the information for your email. Now, what I will do now, we'll just pretend that worked. I think we can agree on that. So if we go back to domains, now this will be that home screen. This is generally the first screen you'll see if you log in, depending on what package you have through GoDaddy and how many domains you have through GoDaddy. But here, in our domains section, we'll just click on Manage. And it brings up a similar screen that just lists out our domains. So we'll grab the one we want to change, or the one we want to grab the records for, and go down here to Manage DNS. And now we see DNS zone file. So from here, these are all of the records I have entered for that domain. Some of these are responsible for making my email work. So the way this works is whenever somebody queries a domain, whenever you type it into your web browser, send an email to an email address at that domain, it's going to check with the name servers that are set up for that domain to figure out what it should do. So on this page, we see our name servers are domain control. So those are GoDaddy's name servers. So what it'll do is it'll ask these name servers what it should do. And if it's an email, it'll say, well, the email should go up here because this is what the MX records are. So it's just telling any email that's sent to harley@wolfarth.net that it should be sent to mailstore1.secureserver.net. That's why we need to have those entered into our name servers before you change them, because once you change them, it's not going to ask domaincontrol.com what it should do. It's going to ask ns1 and ns2.deltagroup.com what to do. So if we don't have these records, then we're not going to know what to tell it, and your email is not going to go through. So what you'll do on this page, if you have a domain with email, is zone file will already be selected once you get here. You just click on this More tab and go down to Zone File Export, and we'll say Windows. What that'll do is that'll export, actually it'll download a zip file onto your computer that will have all of these records already laid out in it. That way, you can just email those records to us at support@deltagroup.com, and we can pick and choose the ones we need to make your email work. Once we've entered them, we send you back an email, and then the process is the same. You can either, from this page, go down to name servers and edit them down here, or you can use the method we used before. And that's the thing about GoDaddy. There's about 6 different ways to do everything. So one method would be we click on this plus sign and we click on Manage DNS and go through there and do it the way we did before. Another way to do it is if we click Manage up here to go to this other this other interface, and we can click on this plus sign, and there's a set name servers function right here. So we say set name servers, change them to custom, enter your custom name servers. We're going to roll the dice on whether this one's going to work from here. There we are, validated and saved. So we're up and running. So now, you'll have submitted your name servers, or you'll have submitted your domain through the DeltaNet, and you'll have changed your name servers so that any request to that will ask our name servers what to do, and our name servers will tell it that it needs to go to your website. And then if you had email through it and you sent us your records for email, then we'll have those entered, and any email sent to your domain will again ask our name servers what to do, and we'll tell it to go to the same mail server that it went to before. So I realize this is complicated, but basically that's what the process breaks down to. So just to simplify matters, step by step, if there's no email, you will go into the DeltaNet, go to website, domains, set up a new domain name, we'll say no for email, type in your domain name, make sure this is the email address you're actually using, and hit submit. You'll then get an email in usually the same day, sometimes within a couple hours, sometimes a couple of days. But you'll get an email once the domain's been processed that just says you've processed your domain and you can now change your name servers. You'll go into GoDaddy, you'll follow the process to change your name servers, and that's it. You'll be good to go. If you do have email, the step in between is that before you change your name servers, you'll have to go download that zone file from GoDaddy, email it to us, and then once we get it, we send you another email that says those records have been entered. You'll go into GoDaddy and change your name servers, or whoever your domain registrar is, and change your name servers, and then you'll be all set. So that is the whole process. Now let me look. Once you have your domain added, in fact, I'll just go over one last thing here. So under website and domains, once your domain's been added, now we see we're waiting for approval up here. But once this domain's approved, then this approval will go away. You have your domain name here. What you'll want to do is click on Set as Primary Domain. Now, because it hasn't been approved yet, I don't know if it'll let me do it. No, it won't. But once it's been approved, you'll click on Set as Primary Domain. That'll redirect all your other domains to your one custom domain. And then if anybody types in any of the domains you have here, or your original web address, which will be your username.companydomain.com. So, for example, if my username was hwolfarth and I was at Cutler, it would be hwolfarth.cutlerhomes.com. So that, if they typed it in, would also redirect back to my wolfarth.net, and then that's what would show up in the address bar. So, and having your own custom domain is all a matter of your own custom branding. So the main thing you want to keep in mind with a domain name is it's really about branding you more than it is about a search term for a specific area. So instead of homes in Canton, Ohio, or homes for sale or rent in Canton, Ohio, something like that, you might want to go with harleyshomes.com. It's something easy for customers to remember so that they can quickly type it in and go to your website. It's all about making yourself really easy to find to your customers. All right, so that about covers it for domains. I am sure that anyone watching this has all kinds of questions, but I explained it as clearly as I thought I could. Anyway, so if you have any questions, as always, feel free to give us a call at 866-233-9833. Almost forgot our phone number. Give us an email, support@deltagroup.com, or feel free to comment on this videos. And yet again, if you have any issues with domain name setup, you can get a hold of us that way, or if you have any suggestions for any videos down the road, or anything you want me to go back over, or if you want me to do another video where I go over this again, we can always do that. So, as always, have a wonderful week. Hope everyone had a great holiday weekend, and I'll see you again next week.